So I'm sitting here trying to think of a custom that I can do to do for a video, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I seen this Mustang that I had robbed the wheels off for another build, and I thought to myself, this could make an interesting custom, but what was I going to do with it? I've got the interior and the windshield for it over here to the side, but I got to thinking about it, and once before I made a gasser out of an old Torino, a Torino stalker, and I'm like, can I make this into a gasser? I think it would look great as a gasser. I don't even know if we'll mess with the paint or not. Maybe throw some new wheels on it or something like that, but how am I going to make it a gasser? So I broke out a gasser, and we have the base here. And this base, the way this base works is you got to drill the post in the back and then pop it loose, and then the grill comes out of the front end like that. Anyway, the tail lights and the bumper are on the back. So I'm like, okay, how is this going to fit? So I lined up the post in the back, and then I checked out the front end. There's no post in the front end, so how am I going to make that work? The wheels seem to line up pretty nice, and I like the way it looks. The stance is really cool, as you can see. So how am I going to make this work? Plus, I was thinking about using the motor and the tailpipes off of here on there, but this car has an opening hood, and it has its own little engine compartment in there. I thought about taking the hood off so that the motor could stick up above it, but I don't know if I want to go to all that trouble. I could just cut a hole in the engine compartment and just have the motor go through, so when you pop the hood you could see it. That would work. I don't know how far up it would go. You have these things here that hold the wheels on, but I'm like, well, this has the wheel holder for the gasser frame. So then, you know, I got to think about the front end off of this one. Both the chassis are plastic, so both the bases are plastic, so it wouldn't be that hard when you look at it from the side to cut off enough material off of this base and take this base and remove the front end, say from about midways of the axle there, and fuse it on with some JB weld. That's what I did the last time. And the same goes for the back end. You need the tail lights and the bumper. When you look at the back ends, you could cut right along there, fuse them on. You just have to make sure you get the right placement. I think the first thing we're going to have to work on is the base. So I think I am going to have to do some chopping on these bases. And I think I'm going to start by taking the wheels off. I think what I might do is shave this down smooth, remove the front end of this one, and see what I get. After a lot of grinding and fidgeting, trying to make the front end work with the base, I came up with this. I actually had to cut off the front end of the base. I'll get a little closer so you can see, and kind of ground it to fit between the two shock towers, as it were, for the Mustang. Now what I'll do is I'll fill this in with JB weld and allow it to cure while it's on the car. That'll give me some structure. And I'm thinking I might go ahead, if it doesn't look good, I'm going to go ahead and just chrome the whole bottom with some Molotow ink in the long run. And then after the JB weld cures, I'll take it off and I'll slather it all over the back so that it has a good firm base, and allow that to cure, and then I'll probably have to do a little bit more grinding to get it to work, because you want to be able to pull it from the base like this here and get the whole thing to come out. And you can see the back here, I've had to grind the bump down a little bit to get it to fit, and this is what I did to the grill of the car. I took all that out the middle of these two to give me more surface area to glue to, and it just slips right back into the front of the car like that. Then all I have to do is line up the post on the back. Once the post is lined up on the back, that's where it needs to be, right there. Then all we have to do is fill that in with some JB weld. You see the base of the car fits snug along the bottom of the Mustang, so that's where it needs to be. Alright, after about an hour of fiddling around, I showed you I got the front bumper lined up, and now I have the back bumper lined up. It's just setting in there. I shaved the back end off the car a little bit, the chassis a little bit, so that it would fit, and then I cut the gas tank out of the base. I have another one over here I can show you. The gas tank's right there. I just shaved that out so I could get it to fit in the bumper. But I had to notch out for this base. I had to shave the back off this base. I had to shave some of the bumps off the other side. And I got the right profile. The car is sitting on the interior. And I was going to try and use the interior from this. I had an extra one laying around, so I fiddled with it a little bit. I shaved the dash off, tried to get it to fit. It doesn't work with the windshield that comes with the Mustang, so I nixed that and just went ahead and shaved the bottom off the interior that came with the Mustang. I'll pull this apart real quick and show you. You can pretty much see right through it. Yeah, I wasn't intending on going that far, but all this was hollow once I started going through it. I don't know why that's hollow. All that was like closed in when I started grinding, and then it's gone. But yeah, you can see I went through the baseboard here, I went through the floorboard here. The shifter's there, but barely. Man, I'm just having myself an adventure here today. Okay, let me give you a little glimpse of what I've got going on here. I've got this JB welded on in the back. I've got this JB welded on in the back. I'm probably going to have to do some cleanup, and I'll probably have to go back over it with the chrome because it got on the back bumper here, and man, when that stuff is wet, all it wants to do is keep on going. Probably do some shaping in the front because I filled in where the post used to be right there. And I'll show you how nice it's fitting. Just like that. Look at that. Fits perfect. You got your tail lights right there. Your wheels are lining up. I even went ahead and decided I was going to cut a hole in there. Cut the old motor out so I could put a new motor in there. Okay, I wanted to show you what I got. I've scuffed this car up pretty good, moving it around, trying to fix things. I did end up removing the hood and grinding out the hinges, which I didn't want to do, but it is done. You see the engine is sticking through the hood and it's moving around, so I'm going to have to figure out another way to secure it, but the hood does open. Alright, I'm just back with a preview. This is the other car. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm enjoying the process. The wheels that are on it are just temporary until I get my new wheels in, which should be any day now. And I keep saying that like you guys are going to know it. But anyway, they're temporary wheels. I managed to cut a hole in the hood without taking the hood off. So there we have that. And I filed this down a little bit up here. And I did make a boo-boo. The file kind of traveled on me a little bit right there. as things do when you're getting tired. That's a lot of filing. Also, it kind of traveled it this way here. So I scratched the hood pretty good. But yeah, let me work on that paint, re-chroming that base, and I'll bring you back and give you a nice surprise with some new wheels. Alright, I'm back from Stripper, and this is what she looks like stripped. This one has a lot of toning on it. I polished it and those spots would not come out. There's one on the hood that I really don't like. I'm not sure exactly what that is. It was under the paint. There's some on the side right here in that groove, if you can see that. Spot on the top. Looks like a water spot, but it's not. And then if you look at the trunk, you can see the post. It's kind of bent right there, and there's the post right there, and then there's some staining there. And that's really all I've done to it since then. Now, and I think I'm going to go with classic black. And I think under the hood, I'm going to paint under the hood, and then alongside of the headers down here, where it you know, doesn't come through the hood, I'm going to paint that black on the engine. That way, the spot here where I went crazy with the file, yes, I said a file, I'm going to, you won't be able to see it. You won't be able to see it because all that'll be black and it'll just be a mirage. So that's what I'm going to go with. And then I was thinking about, I have some decals somewhere of stripes from the spoiler series. I was thinking about slapping some of those on it afterwards and see how they look. They're just stripes, they're nothing fancy. I could also put letters on the side, but I don't know that I want to do that. I think just stripes for now. Maybe later do letters, and then I might try to somehow get in those little tiny grooves right there for the taillights and put some red in there. And I may come back after I paint it, and if I can get this stupid camera to focus, paint the gas cap chrome, door handles chrome, and then maybe hit the headlights. If you can see those headlights, they have a little texture to them. I'll probably lose it in the paint, but they're textured like old headlights used to be back in the day. Maybe slap some white paint on there and some orange paint on these running lights down here in the bumper. There's some lights back here too. I think they're backup lights. I don't know. Those might be tailpipes. Well, we're going to chrome this base, and then we're going to paint this car black. And I did get some wheels. Finally got my wheels in. Right here. Hope they fit. Haven't tried them yet. And this is where I got them. So you guys need some wheels, go to eBay. Look this guy up right here. Samed Wheels. Samed, however you pronounce it. Yeah. Alright, I'm back from paint. I used rattle can black and sprayed a couple coats on it, and threw it in the oven for a little bit. I think it turned out pretty nice. I went ahead and chromed the base and the engine, but the Molto ink takes at least 24 hours to cure, and I had to go over the base kind of heavy because of the porosity of the JB Weld. So it may take a little longer than that. So I'm gonna let this dry probably till tomorrow before I go handling it, and then I'll stick some decals or some stickers on it. Alright, I'm done with the decals and the paint, the clear coat. Just want to give you a quick look at it. I just skipped through the painting process and decal process because this video is going to be long enough with all the other stuff. But you see I painted the door handles, I painted the headlights, I even painted the gas cap and I added a stripe, and it's kind of straight this time. Look how pretty that looks. And I said to myself, I'm going to paint this hood shed if I ain't careful, but it still works, so thank you. Anyway, after the ink dries, it's been 24 hours after the ink dries, I will do an assembly and show you what this bad boy looks like. Alright, we're back for assembly. The base has only been sitting for about 24 hours. I was going to let it sit a little longer, but I was looking at it, and you can see, you can still see the sanding lines in the JB Weld and along here, and it looks a little crusty, so there must have been some dust or something on it when I painted it. And same on the rear bumper, so I'm like, can't mess it up no worse. So I'm going to go ahead and do it because it's going to get hot out here in the garage today. And I personally don't want to be in here when it does. So we're going to start with the body. This is what the body looks like. All nice and shiny, clear coat. We stripped it, painted it black, added decals, did some detail paint for the headlights, the gas cap, and the door handles. This is the windshield. We didn't do anything to it. This is the interior. We didn't have to do anything. Well, we did. We ground off the bottom of it so that the gasser base would fit. And here's the base. We added some new wheels from Sam Ed Wheels. So check him out on eBay. You have to put the motor in next. I did add a little black Sharpie to it. I didn't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but we did it anyway. And then we're going to, this here hooks in the front. Gotta get it in there, give it a little squeeze. Gonna have to put a screw in it. There we go. And look at that. Gracious, that looks nice. I was worried it wasn't going to be nice, but it is very nice. I like that. Just gotta put a screw in it. I gotta glue the wheels down on the base. I didn't glue them down. So they're going to float a little bit and touch the body on the back and the front. There's the only thing holding it is the plastic clips from before, you know. So before I screw it down, I'm going to glue these down. A little super glue and baking soda. But let's get this on the rotisserie and have a look at it. Alright, here it is. This is one of those throwback cars from Target. I think they call them Decades. From the 60s. We built a gasser base with the front and rear bumper from the Mustang, and we added new wheels from Sam Ed Wheels. We stripped and painted the body, added white stripes and a few little details to it, and we detailed the base, the tail lights, and the indicator lights on the front. This was a fun project. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And I hope you'll check out everybody doing customs like this. And I wanted to show you before I close, the hood does open like that. So it is complete. I still have to glue the wheels down and put a screw in it. Other than that, it is 100%. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, how about leave me a thumbs up? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that post notification bell for future videos and great content like this. On that note, I hope you have an awesome day and a wonderful summer.